Alright, if you watched last video, I got done troubleshooting my ignition system problem, which turned out to be a fuel system problem, so let's troubleshoot a fuel system problem. Okay, on mine, I'm still running the stock pump that you probably can't see down in there. And it was a stock older pump. We have our little return line filter there, and I have an Earl's Performance little 100 micron pre-pump filter on it as well, and that thing comes apart. So if I got a clogged filter or something, I'm going to check for that first, and we can pull that pump out of there and just kind of see if it kind of pulls vacuum or whatever. But these pumps sit around a dry rot and everything. That's why going to an electric pump is good. I'd like to do that, but it's not going to occur right now. So anyways, I'm going to show you that right there and just kind of walk through it. We got our fuel line. We got a little bit of fuel coming out in there, but yeah, it wasn't good and full, so that keyed me on to it's a fuel problem, not an ignition problem. And well, behind the scenes, I'm going to clean this atrocity. Well, not quite. It's better than the factory thought about, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to get all the stuff put back on for this, how I had it before on ignition system. But all right, got my filters out. We'll get to this one in a second. Right here, I want to go over a couple things first. My clamp right here. Yeah, you see that? Not good. The new hose that I put on, like not even a year old. Splits and cracks and all that. So I need to go over everything that's a rubber hose and make sure it's good. I just wish, like, I bought the good hose too. Yeah, it still sucks. Okay, here is the Earl's Performance centered bronze pre-pump filter. That's kind of how that comes apart. We got our centered bronze in there. I'm not seeing any clogs. So what I'm going to do there, I'm not seeing anything major. I'm just going to go through and get some brake clean and get my air compressor over here. And the same thing on this. I'll try to shoot air through. You can breathe through it, try to blow through it, but really, Cat? I'm like, really? What, do you need more food or something? You want... Anyways, yeah, so you can try to blow through that, but it's all gassy and everything, so I'm just going to use an air hose, a little bit of low pressure on it, and get the same result. Ooh, got some nasty gunk in there. Go in the end. All right. Seemed bad. I don't think we had a clog. We probably got a fuel pump that's gone bad. That's what I'm thinking. Make sure it goes the right way. All right, get the hoot on there. Okay, I had some cracks in the fuel lines, and I'm going through and looking at some things. I have some different lines here. This one is actually kind of a braided look, and if we look close, it's green lettering in there. Biodiesel. So this is going to be for a blended fuel right here. Not necessarily for fuel injection, but it's for a blended fuel. This is what I've been using, which does say fuel line on it. Let's see, fuel line. If you see that stuff right there, PVC, EEC, don't use it for fuel line. This is the stuff that keeps cracking on me. Every bit of this. It's just lasts maybe a year, maybe two, something like that, and it starts splitting and cracking. this is the stuff I'm going to start upgrading to right here, is to make sure, because, you know, I run a blended fuel with the ethanol, right? I want to make sure all that gets upgraded. So that's one thing. All right, now here we got something else. So this was pretty clean right here, my pre-filter 100 micron, right? So I want to check this filter, see if we can do this. Hear that? You see that coming out of there? That is way bigger than 100 microns. Where did that come from? I have new lines and everything. Let's look. That's curdled up on the inside. Probably because of the ethanol fuel that we run nowadays is, you know, it holds water in there, and it's curdled out inside of that. So probably need to take the carburetor off and do a thorough clean on it to make sure, because guess what's right after this? Okay, before you get excited, I'm not going to the electric pump yet. So this is the plastic filter right here. I can get these with the 3/8 hose on both ends. That way when it goes up to the carburetor, I don't have to like jam a 5/16 on the carburetor or stretch the other line onto, or a super squeeze the 3/8 line onto the 5/16. Now, the problem with this is, if we look at the other filter, it has a return, and I want to use my return line. So what I've done whenever I did this setup, whenever I broke the engine in, I just have a little adapter here. I think this might even be Earl's Performance little T, and I come over with brass fitting and did the 5/16 line right here going down for my return. And that can go, you know, either before or it can go after or whatever, really don't matter. And what's going to happen is the floats on the carburetor will create back pressure and shut it off, right? So if you didn't have one, it'd just deadhead the pump and it'd just be building up internal pressure, right? So what we could be doing with that same energy is pumping the fuel back down to the fuel tank and keeping the fuel aerated and all that good stuff, and helps keep it from going stale, all that good stuff. And if I put it after the filter, it's running all my fuel through the filter, and I'm continually filtering my fuel even if I'm not using it at the carburetor. So I think I'm going to put that after the filter. That way I get those two benefits right there. Okay, let's check this fuel pump. Got it up in the vise and got a rag on there to keep the flange from getting all messed up. And the inlet is coming over here inside my gas right there. So this is our outlet. So we're going to see what we get going on right here. Not even attempting to pick up fuel. I can get one of these. I checked AutoZone and O'Reilly's because that's the two places I bounce back and forth between. Same price for both of them. AutoZone's a 1-year warranty. O'Reilly is a limited lifetime. So guess where I'm going to go to get my fuel pump? Okay. Vacuum pump. Brake bleeder. And all the way down to here. We're going to see if we get good fuel coming out of there. So, get my hand situated. Okay, so no problem getting fuel through the fuel line, and it looks like good fuel too. So that's just a sanity check right there, something easy to do to make sure there's no problems going back that way. So certainly the fuel pump and fuel filter had issues. Now I need to get this off and make sure it doesn't have a bunch of dirt and crud in it, and I still have not fiddled with the ignition system at all. All right, got budget, so I got ignition parts, even though we're doing our fuel system video. But that's just kind of how that works. We'll get the keys and we're going to see if we can get this thing started and close these two out right here. But I did troubleshoot the ignition system. I showed you how to do that. Let's see if I did it right. I know y'all have been dying to know that. And we're coming out of the little ice age number 2 at the same time. Okay, we're all done. Got fuel. There's the Blue Streak coil. UC16. Sometimes it has an X on it, sometimes it doesn't. Now I went with the Blue Streak stuff because it's something I can get at the local parts store. It is performance. The spark plug wires I'm going to put on once I prove this out is 8.5 millimeter, and they're lifetime warranty. So a lot of good reasons to get those parts. I got 2 blaster coils over there, and both of them are bad. 2 SL coils, both of them are bad. Yeah, they're not going to give me, yeah, who knows when I got that stuff. All right, key in. It's cold, but hey, it started and it ran, so we fixed our fuel problem. Mostly haven't replaced the lines. That's another budget thing there, right? But at least I identified what to do next. And I think I got a smudge on my camera, so who knows how this come out. Probably come out all smudgy, nasty, yucky looking. Whatever. Y'all get the gist right there. So I appreciate you hanging out, going through all this troubleshooting and stuff. This is how project stuff works right here. You're going to run out of budget because I'll have to buy a battery for this, or do this, or the electric bill was high, or whatever, so you got to put stuff on pause. Just to let you know, the Ramcharger, we're pausing on this because I got my dad's truck in the shop. That's the priority. The Ramcharger still needs that center link on there. I need to go through and double check all front end suspension stuff, put the bumper on. Rear view mirror needs to go on. There's no dash stuff in it. This is a long-term project, but it can move around the yard, which is way more work done to it than what it was this time last year. Remember that? That's probably the wrong side. Thanks for watching.